Thanks everybody for coming. I'm Christian. I've been here at the OpenPlay team for 5 years and loved every minute of it. Today we're going to be going over some of our new V2 API information, some stuff about our DDEX updates, some lyrics. We're going to talk publishing, as Jonathan mentioned, and a few other things. So stick with me. If you have questions, like Jonathan said, please go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we're going to get started. So very first off is our build on OpenPlay API V2. So this is a really exciting initiative that you guys are going to see more in the future on. So look out for this, but this is really the kickoff of our V2 APIs. There is a ton of functionality that we have dropped in here, and we're going to go over a small, slim bit of it because if we went over all of it today, we would be here for about 4 hours and all of us would be very bored by the end of it. But instead of doing that, we're going to go over kind of the really the top layer and really the meat of our APIs. But we're also going to mention some webhooks as well as a couple other functionalities around here. But I just wanted to show you this to say, be on the lookout for this logo because you're going to see some really cool stuff surrounding it here in the near future. Starting off, I wanted to talk about our webhooks. Our webhooks are obviously already available, but it's something that not everybody really takes advantage of. And it is kind of the foundation of some of the notifications that you guys can set up for your team, for yourselves, across the board. So, our webhooks are able to be set up upon approval of a release in platform, and they can send an automatic message to generate reports, send text messages, emails containing any OpenPlay metadata fields. And really, it's a very useful tool that can allow your team to be able to have visibility that they otherwise wouldn't through just the use of a simple webhook and a listener. From this next section, this is where we get into the fun stuff, our V2 APIs. And the first thing you're going to see here is this e-commerce content partners and societies. Upon approval of a release, similarly with the APIs, you're going to be able to send data, whether it be a full DDEX package via the partner deliveries or via the APIs. All of the information of cover arts, metadata, booklets, audio, all of that can now automatically be delivered to those who need it. And as you can see, whether it be a content partner via an Amazon S3, whether it be a society or a DSP, for whether it be an Audio Mac or a PRS, whoever it might be that you need to deliver it to, it's now a lot simpler via the APIs. Similarly, on the bottom here, you're going to see some other options: websites, AI machine learning, internal label systems. All of these can access your API infrastructure to pull down details on any release, any of your components, and it's perfect for keeping websites updated, feeding your machine learning systems, any internal systems, whether it be financial, reporting, royalties. All of those can be updated via the APIs on a consistent basis with the freshest data possible. Before it goes to your distributor, before it goes to anywhere else, it can make sure that it goes directly to your internal systems. And that, again, perfect for keeping your team on top of things. The other thing that you can use the V2 APIs to do is to update applications. So whether it be for fan engagement, streaming services, reporting tools, all the APIs can be channeled directly to industry partners and allow you to actually keep a consistent update flow for all of your needs. On this next one, you're going to also see music tech, which I think all of us are very interested in and all of us are consistently looking towards. But whether it be a disco, a curve, a LyricFind, AIMS, there are so many amazing industry partners that we have already made integrations with, as well as would love to help you make integrations with, to be able to deliver your data and your content directly to them at the very inception of it. As soon as you have that release ready to set up and ready to send, you can have those APIs immediately grabbing all of that content, dropping it directly in so that you're not having to wait for a manual process, a manual upload, but rather, upon this distribution, you can immediately have that data there. So there's a lot of incredible applications for the V2 APIs. And we're going to go over just a tiny bit of it. The first thing I want to show you, though, is when you're setting one up in OpenPlay, you go to your manage area. So for those of you that are current users and are admins, you can go to your manage area. In the manage area on the left side, you're going to see a section that says APIs. On this, you can automatically create an API key, and you can tell I have made a very incredible API key and a very, very secret key. So you can all access this today when you're bored. But it's good to note that as soon as you issue an API key, you will only see this once. So make sure you capture these, put these in a password manager, put that data in there so that you don't lose it, because once that is issued, you will not see that secret key again for security reasons. So keep it. Don't forget it, because otherwise you're going to have to issue another one. But when you issue that, you're able to get that API key, get the secret key, and that will allow you to make those connections. Now, the OpenPlay V2 API on a very basic level. So you nerds out there, you're going to be like, well, it can do this, 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 this. Yeah, I agree with you. But what I'm going to say is this is the very simplest way we can kind of make it easy to digest. So the three basic functions of our V2 API are a get, put, and post. There is other things it can do, but follow me on this. So when we boil that down, that allows us to get, put, and post releases, tracks, works, audio files, cover, and a few other records. But these are the things that people are most typically interested in to be able to pull. So previously, releases were all packaged with all of the track information, all of the work information, and assets were not available via our APIs. So it was all concatenated and bundled in one. Now, with the V2 APIs, you're able to not only get individual releases and release metadata, but individual track metadata, individual work metadata, those audio files, and cover art. So that means not only can you pull a full release package out and all the metadata associated with it to give to a partner, you could give, let's just say, the works metadata only to a society or to a PRS that you need to work with and need that data delivered to. Now, with that, that also means you can do some basic functions. And again, there's quite a few more functions, but this allows you to search all of these records, to get, which means to pull all of that data and be able to send it somewhere, to edit those fields within OpenPlay via the API. So if you have an internal database that is going to can have the ability to update the V2 API in your record in OpenPlay, that's possible, as well as to create releases. So now not only can you create releases manually in OpenPlay, you can ingest DDEX. You can also create releases via our Excel ingest template, but now you can also create releases via the API. So if you do have some other sort of feeder tool, then you could create those releases as they're coming in, as they're being created by maybe your label or your artist, however that might be. I know everyone has different ways of doing things, but you can use the V2 API now to create releases as well. So that means not only create the release and the metadata section, but also to insert the audio files, the cover art, and everything you need to do. So you'll still have to go in to manually validate your release, but oh man, you can do everything else via the V2 API. So we're really, really, really excited about this. Obviously, there is a ton more that I could show you and get into, but what I want to direct you to is where to find the information surrounding this. So if you are in your dashboard, you can go to the manage area. It's the little tools on the top right. At that point, you should see on the left side the Connect API. This will allow you to look at the tenant API keys. If you're a platform user, you'll also be able to look at the platform API keys, and then you will also be able to view that documentation. And our team has done an incredible job, because this documentation is so long, you have to grab the side to scroll through it, and it is very detailed on everything from getting a track to uploading audio. the whole 9 yards. You can really see the incredible work that our engineering team has done on this. And we're very, very, very happy for you guys to start to get into it, to start playing with it, and to start, not only delivering, but also inserting your content into OpenPlay and getting things squared away for your team. Now, if you guys have any questions on the API, we are more than happy to connect with you. Please let us know, and we would love to talk through it with you if you have questions. We have some Postman scripts and some Postman groups that are available in some cases, depending on what you would like to do. So talk with us, and we're happy to set you up and be able to show you all the incredible things the V2 APIs can do.